The 4-year-old girl walked into the bathroom and screamed so loud it cut straight through the sound of unpacked boxes and the hum of the moving truck outside. Her mother dropped the roll of tape she was holding and ran in, heart already in her throat, expecting blood or a fall or something broken. Instead, she found her daughter frozen in the doorway, eyes wide, pointing at the toilet with a shaking finger. "There's an old lady sitting there," the girl whispered, voice tiny and trembling. "She has red hair." The mother looked. Nothing. Just the white porcelain toilet, the new shower curtain still in its plastic, a single bare bulb overhead. No one sitting, no red hair, no old lady. She scooped her daughter up, rubbed her back, told her it was just her imagination playing tricks, because the house was new and everything felt strange. Kids see things, right? Especially after a move. The little girl nodded, but her eyes kept darting back to the toilet like she was waiting for the woman to reappear. That was it for years. The family settled in. Suburban street in a quiet Midwest town outside Columbus, Ohio. 2-story colonial, 2,000 square feet, built in the late 1980s. Nothing special. The girls grew. 4 became 9, then 11. The younger one turned 6, then 8. No more screams, no shadows, no cold spots, no footsteps on the stairs at night. The house felt normal, safe, boring even. They lived there 5 years without another incident. Then came the barbecue. Last weekend, before the moving truck arrived, burgers on the grill, aunts and uncles in lawn chairs, kids running through the sprinkler in the backyard. The younger cousin's daughter, 4 years old now, same age the first girl had been, wandered inside to use the bathroom. She didn't come out smiling. She came out screaming, hysterical, face red, tears streaming, clinging to her mom's leg like it was the only solid thing in the world. "I saw her," she sobbed. "The old lady with red hair. She was sitting on the toilet. She didn't move. She just looked at me." The backyard went quiet. The parents exchanged glances. Most of the adults had heard the first story years ago. It had become one of those family anecdotes told with a laugh over beers. "Remember when Emily thought there was a lady in the bathroom?" But the little girl crying in front of them had never heard it. She'd been a baby when the first incident happened. No one had ever told her. She had no reason to invent the exact same description. Red hair, old woman, sitting on the toilet, not speaking, not moving, just there. The timing hit hardest. First sighting, 3 days after moving in. Second sighting, 4 days before moving out. Nothing in between, not one single thing. The family packed up and left the house the following Tuesday. The new owners moved in a week later, a young couple with no kids. No reports ever came back. No one ever mentioned seeing anything strange. Years passed. One summer, my buddy Josh, who grew up in the house directly across the street, came over for a cookout. We were drinking in the garage, talking about old neighborhoods, when his mum walked by and casually dropped it. "You know that house your cousins lived in?" she said, pointing across the street with her beer bottle. "The lady who owned it before them was this sweet older woman, red hair, lived alone, died right there in the house, 1998, I think. Heart attack on the toilet, poor thing. They found her 2 days later." She shrugged like it was neighborhood gossip, not a bombshell. Josh and I just looked at each other. No one had ever told us that. The red-haired woman hadn't been a ghost story invented by kids. She'd been real. And she'd waited. If you're listening to this on Mr. Nightfear, you already know things like this don't end well. But here's the part that still keeps me up some nights. Last month, my sister texted me a photo. She'd been driving through that old neighborhood, pure coincidence, taking a shortcut to the highway, and decided to swing by the house for old time's sake. The photo showed the front porch, a new family living there now, kids' bikes on the lawn, American flag hanging straight. Normal. Except in the bathroom window, clear as day, framed perfectly in the glass, was a faint reflection. An old woman. Red hair, sitting, just watching the street. My sister swears she didn't see her when she took the picture, but she's there, and the timestamp on the photo. 2:17 p.m. The photo stayed on my phone for 3 days before I could look at it again without my stomach twisting into knots. Every time I opened the gallery, there she was, framed perfectly in the bathroom window like she'd been waiting for the camera. Red hair pulled back in that old lady bun, face pale and calm, eyes locked on the lens, even though my sister swore she hadn't seen a damn thing when she snapped the picture at 2:17 p.m. on a random Thursday afternoon. I zoomed in until the pixels broke apart. No reflection artifacts, no weird lens flare, no Photoshop prank, just her, sitting, watching. I texted my sister back. "You sure you didn't notice her when you took it?" Her reply came quick. "Bro, I was literally just pulling out of the cul-de-sac. Didn't even stop the car. I only saw it when I got home and checked the pics. Freaked me out so bad I almost dropped my phone." I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lay in the dark listening to the ceiling fan click overhead, replaying every family story about that house, the barbecue, the 2 little girls years apart, the way the sightings bookended the entire time my cousins lived there, like the woman had been counting down, patient as rust. Around 3 in the morning, I gave up, grabbed my laptop and started digging. Public records first, Summit County property search. The house had changed hands 4 times since my cousins moved out in 2001. Current owners, a family named Patel, moved in 2019. No complaints filed with the city, no police reports, nothing. Then obituaries. 1998 was the year Josh's mom mentioned. I searched the Akron Beacon Journal archives, keyword red hair, plus toilet, plus heart attack. Felt ridiculous typing it, but I hit enter anyway. Nothing useful. I tried broader. Elderly woman, death home, plus red hair, plus 1998. 1 hit. A small notice from 1998, 3 lines long. Margaret Eileen Whitaker, 76, passed away peacefully at her residence on Maplewood Drive. Survived by no immediate family. Services private. No mention of red hair, but the address matched. Maplewood Drive, the cul-de-sac. I cross-referenced the date. She died on the toilet, 2 days before anyone found her. The coroner's note, buried in a PDF I paid $10 to unlock, said natural causes, cardiovascular event. But the body had been discovered sitting upright. Still on the toilet. I slammed the laptop shut so hard the screen cracked a hairline at the corner. The next weekend I drove out there myself. 3-hour haul from Pittsburgh, where I live now. Took the back roads off I-71 to avoid the tolls. Radio off. Just the hum of tires and my own thoughts chewing holes in me. Pulled into the old neighborhood around 4 in the afternoon. Same maple trees lining the street. Same cracked sidewalks. Same quiet that used to feel peaceful but now felt like it was watching. I parked across from the house. Josh's old place was still there. Same green shutters. New owners had painted the door red. I didn't get out right away. Just sat with the engine running, staring at the bathroom window on the 2nd floor. Curtains were open. No one visible. I killed the engine, stepped out, walked across the street slow, like I was trespassing on memory lane. The front yard looked lived in. Trampoline in the side yard. Kids' soccer ball by the garage. American flag on the porch, same as the photo. I stood at the end of the driveway, hands in pockets, trying to look casual. That's when the curtain moved. Just a twitch. Like someone had brushed it aside to look down. I froze. A face appeared, brief, half hidden behind the sheer fabric. Red hair, old woman, staring straight at me. My heart slammed once, hard, then kept going like it wanted out of my chest. I took 1 step back, then another. The face didn't move, didn't blink, just watched. I turned and walked, fast, back to my car. Didn't run. Didn't want to look like a crazy person in case anyone was watching from a neighbor's window. But my hands shook so bad I fumbled the keys twice before getting in. I drove away without looking back. Halfway home, my phone buzzed. Text from my sister. Another photo came through from that day. Check your email. I pulled over at a Sheetz off the interstate, hands still trembling. The email had 2 attachments. First was the original bathroom window pic, same as before. Second was a close-up crop she'd done later. In the reflection, behind the old woman's shoulder, was something new. A second face, smaller, younger. A little girl, 4 years old maybe. Staring out with the exact same expression. And in the corner of the window frame, scratched into the wood, faint but clear, were 2 dates. One from 1998, one from 2001. Bookends. And under them, in the same faint scratch, still here, I sat in that Sheetz parking lot for 20 minutes, engine off, staring at the photo until the screen timed out and went black. When it did, I saw my own reflection in the glass. And for half a second, just half, I thought I saw red hair framing my face too. But when I blinked, it was gone. The cracked corner of my laptop screen caught the dashboard light as I pulled back onto the interstate, and every bump in the road made the fracture spiderweb a little wider. Like the house itself was reaching out, reminding me it wasn't done. I drove the 3 hours home in silence. No radio, no podcasts. Just the low growl of the engine and the occasional whisper of wind through the cracked window, carrying that faint, impossible smell of old lady perfume mixed with something metallic, like blood left to dry on porcelain. When I finally got back to my apartment in Pittsburgh, second-floor walk-up above a laundromat that never closes, I didn't unpack the duffel bag, just dropped it by the door, locked everything twice, and sat on the couch staring at my phone. The photo from my sister was still open. I zoomed in again on the bathroom window. The old woman hadn't moved. Still sitting. Still staring. But now that I was looking closer, I saw the little girl behind her shoulder wasn't just staring out. She was smiling. Small, tight. The kind of smile a 4-year-old gives when she's proud of a secret. I closed the photo, opened it again. Same thing. I tried to tell myself it was pareidolia, brains seeing faces in clouds, in curtains, in reflections. But the dates scratched into the frame were too clear. 1998, 2001, and beneath them, the fresh scratch. Still here. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the curtain twitch again, heard the soft creak of old joints settling on porcelain, smelled that perfume. Around 2:17 a.m., of course it was 2:17 a.m., my phone buzzed on the coffee table. Unknown number. A photo message. I opened it before I could stop myself. Another shot of the bathroom window. Same angle, same timestamp. 2:17 p.m. yesterday. But now the old woman was gone. The little girl was still there. Alone. Smiling wider. And in the glass, reflected behind her, faint but unmistakable, was my own face. Standing in the driveway where I'd been parked that afternoon, looking up at the window, I dropped the phone like it burned. It clattered across the floor, screen still glowing. I stared at it from the couch, chest tight, waiting for it to buzz again. It didn't, but the apartment felt smaller, the walls closer, the ceiling lower. I stood up slow, walked to the bathroom, my own bathroom, and flicked on the light. Nothing. Just the toilet, the sink, the mirror. I looked at my reflection. No red hair, no old woman, Just me. Tired eyes, stubble, the same face I'd always had. But when I blinked, just one blink, the reflection didn't. It kept staring, smiling that small, proud 4-year-old smile. I stumbled back, hit the door frame, fumbled for the switch. Light off. Darkness. The mirror went black. But in the dark glass, I could still see it. Faint outline, red hair framing the face that wasn't mine anymore. I backed out of the bathroom, slammed the door, wedged a chair under the knob, even though I knew it wouldn't matter. Then I sat on the floor in the hallway and waited for morning. When the sun finally came up, grey and thin through the blinds, I grabbed my keys and drove. Not home. Not back to Columbus. I drove to the house, straight through, no stops, pulled into the cul-de-sac at 4 in the afternoon, same time as before, parked in the same spot across the street. The bathroom window was open this time, curtains tied back. No one visible. I got out, walked up the driveway, slow, hands visible, like I was approaching a wild animal. The front door opened before I reached the porch. A woman, 30s, dark hair, tired mum eyes, stood there holding a toddler on her hip. "Can I help you?" she asked, voice polite but guarded. I swallowed. "I used to know the people who lived here, years ago. Just wanted to see if everything was okay." She frowned. "We've been here 5 years. House is fine. Kids love it." The toddler pointed at me suddenly. "Red lady." The mum laughed, nervous. "He says that sometimes. Imaginary friend, I guess. Always in the bathroom." I felt the blood leave my face. "Does she sit on the toilet?" I asked. The mum's smile faded. She shifted the toddler higher on her hip. "How did you know that?" Before I could answer, the little boy looked straight at me, blue eyes wide, and whispered, "She's waiting for you." The mum pulled him inside quick. "Sorry, we're busy." Door shut. Lock clicked. I stood on the porch for a long moment, wind moving through the maples, carrying the faint smell of perfume and porcelain. Then I turned and walked back to the car. As I reached the driver's door, I glanced up at the bathroom window one last time. She was there. Red hair. Sitting. But now, she wasn't alone. Behind her, reflected in the glass, stood every child who'd ever seen her. Dozens of them. All ages, all staring at me. And in the very front, smiling that same small, proud smile, was the little girl from the photo. Only now, her eyes weren't a child's. They were mine. The major reveal hit like cold water down my spine. She wasn't haunting the house. She was collecting. Every child who saw her became part of her reflection, trapped in the glass, waiting, watching, smiling. And the dates scratched into the frame. They weren't bookends. They were invitations. The first said, "I'm here." The second said, "Stay." And the third, the one I'd just earned, was the promise she'd been saving for me all along. "Join us." I got in the car, started the engine, drove away without looking back. But in the rearview mirror, just for a second, the bathroom window followed me, and she was still smiling. The road stretched out ahead, endless and ordinary. But every time I pass a house with a bathroom light on at night, I slow down, because I know she's in there, waiting, still here. And the next time a child walks into that bathroom, she'll be smiling at them too. But she'll be looking past them, straight at me, always at me.